Okay, good morning. So, Greg, Thomas Cleaning, Rugby and Lutterworth. I was thinking, how can I possibly make cleaning sound interesting for 10 minutes? I haven't bought my mop, but cleaning isn't very interesting. But it's pretty well essential for all buildings, be they homes or offices. So let me just tell you a little bit. I'm going to do two things. I'm just going to tell you briefly about Thomas Cleaning and what services we provide in the areas we cover. And then I'm going to go a little bit deeper. I'm going to go and tell you why I've sort of invested in this business. So first of all, Thomas Cleaning. Thomas Cleaning's actually been established for 26 years. Started by a guy there, Richard Thomas, who's down at Chipping Norton, just in the Cotswolds, where incidentally I have to be at 10 o'clock this morning. He started cleaning business, and a few years back he decided to chop the country up into areas and franchise that business. I previously, and the other thing that I do, worked with a Thomas Cleaning licensee who runs a neighbouring area, Coventry and the rest of Warwickshire. And I was quite impressed with Thomas Cleaning and the systems they have in place and the way they operate their business. And when I saw that the area for Rugby and Lutterworth was available, I decided to, or we, that's Debbie, myself, Debbie, my wife and myself, we decided to snap it up and invested with it. So I can't as yet tell you funny stories and anecdotes about the people we've met and some of the things we've found while we've been cleaning, because we're only in week 8, but may have some of those next time. But what I can tell you, so we cover Rugby and Lutterworth. That's essentially going down as far as Flecknoe, Shuckburgh in the south, across to Kilsby and Barby, and then a line more or less Princeorp, Stretton-on-Dunsmore, Monks Kirby in this area, and then we sort of go up the M1 corridor, Lutterworth, Dunton Bassett, Broughton Astley, right up to Narborough, just sort of our territory just stops short of the outskirts of the city. So we've got a nice strip in that area. So what do? We clean, we do domestic cleaning, we do commercial office cleaning, we do carpet and upholstery cleaning, we can do weekly, fortnightly, monthly, or we can do one-off cleans like an end of tenancy clean or a deep spring clean, that sort of thing. We have an offer at the moment if you'd like to take a leaflet, and if you doesn't apply to yourself, give it to a friend, where if you engage in us in repeat cleaning, you do get your 5th and 10th clean for free, which helps bring the overall cost of the 10th cleans down. So that's Thomas Cleaning, and that's what we do. And you'll probably have noticed as you came in the very distinctive little car, which will be the first of many to sort of appear over the next year or so in this area. So why have I invested in a cleaning business? When we're self-employed, and I've been self-employed in one way, shape, form, another for over 30 years, 32 years. When we work for ourselves, sometimes we can perhaps not do it in the best way. And I didn't do it in the best way for 30 odd years. I had a previous business where I worked longer hours than I ever imagined. I made a good living, but never sort of made the money that I dreamt I would make out of that business. And I tried to do everything, control everything, wouldn't let go, wouldn't trust other people, wouldn't delegate. So I became that business. I was sort of the face of that business. I also let my customers control when I worked and when I didn't, rather than control it myself. Obviously, with what I've sort of done over the last couple of years, I've learned a lot about how to sort of run a structure and run a business properly. So I thought, well, okay, let's put that to the test for myself. Let's get another business and let's get it off the ground, but let's work this one properly. So the idea with the cleaning business is that I will get people in, I will build the business. I have one team member so far, I'll have another team member by the end of the month, and we will build that business, and I will be able to release myself from it to a degree, but still oversee it and I will in time build a business that can give me a residual income. Another thing is that when you sort of get to my age, I suppose, and I'm sort of approaching my mid-50s, you start to think about 15, 20 years down the line. And although many of us that have our own businesses may have pensions and investments, we're not all experts like David, and perhaps some of us haven't invested as well as we should. So we've got to think about how we survive when we actually stop doing what we're doing practically. If we have a business, we might think we can sell it. Is that business going to be worth what we hope it's worth? Particularly if we're still very personally involved in it. Will that business work without us? Is it a separate unit that we can sell? And of course, when you have your own business and you have a pension, you've not got the subsidies that somebody, for example, somebody who works for the civil service, for example, they have a pension where it's been very much subsidised by whoever they work for. So a lot of us, we work hard, we run our own businesses, we enjoy good income, but when we come to retire, there's the worry that we might have to take this step down financially. So building up a business that will work very much to a degree without me, that will then give me two options in the future. I can keep that business going, which will give me a residual income, or that business is then saleable as a separate unit, which obviously will bring me money in from that. Why a franchise is the next question. I could have bought a mop and a bucket, had the car done and gone out there on my own. And I'm sure, I know one or two of you have been involved in franchises before. There are some very good franchises, there are some not so good franchises, and there are many in the middle. Franchising can be a dangerous thing if you invest a lot of money and nothing happens. Franchising, having seen a little bit about Thomas Cleaning, it allowed me to realise it was one of the better franchises, certainly in my opinion, and it gives me a kickstart because they do a lot of work for me. We have the car, obviously, there's a Facebook page and there's a website. I don't have to worry about that. It's all run by HQ at Chipping Norton. And there are also leaflets here that we're handing out. We've been pushing them through letterboxes all over Rugby. They all have a web address and they all have a number on there. And it's actually a Rugby number, an 01788 Rugby number. And there's a slightly different Rugby number on the car, on the leaflets, on the website, on the Facebook page. If anybody rings that number to enquire if they want cleaning or they want a quotation for cleaning, it doesn't actually ring me. It goes through to HQ at Chipping Norton. They know because it flashes up on their screens where that call was initiated from, so they know it's a call from my business. But that's great because they then take hold of that, and it means I'm not answering my phone all the time, all through the day, and then grabbing a diary, trying to fit people in. They look after all that for me. So that's one of the advantages of that. Also, the branding is fairly well, in the cleaning world anyway, the branding is quite well recognised around getting more recognised around the country, which helps me. Other things are training. It's like today, as I say, I'm on a training day down there, so I will get to meet with a community of other franchisees from the country, and we're able to talk and exchange the challenges and problems that we have as we go through our businesses. So we learn from others about how to sort of drive the business forward. So that's why I've sort of invested in the franchise. But the point is, say, a lot of us, when we go into business, we do it the wrong way, and I know I did for many, many years because I was just that busy fool. Have any of you seen this book before? I know you should have, and you should have, and you should have. But the E-Myth. Have any of you read this book? Yeah.
I've been to see Michael.
Oh, right.
A couple of times. So.
Oh, excellent. Yeah, I've not seen him, but this is a book that Michael Gruber, the E-Myth. Does anyone know what E stands for? Entrepreneurial myth. The fact that sometimes when we're in business we think ourselves as entrepreneurs, and do we have a business or do we just do we own a business or do we just own a job, a self-employed job, which is often the case. If you're not a reader, I would still recommend you get this book. Probably get it on Amazon. You can even get them. If I'm buying a book on Amazon for myself to read, I'll often buy it second hand if it's in good condition, because once you've read it, it's second hand anyway.